ready to expand again. When you're ready to start the fight, select Expand Shield from the Storm Shield console.
So, Stonewood Endurance. This video is going to teach you exactly what kind of trap tunnels you would need, what kind of level traps you would need, estimation of how long it will take, and basically what you should prepare for. The time that it would usually take for an endurance would probably be around 2.5 hours, so expect that on your run. That's usually how long it took me on my 2 runs that I did it. And the trap levels, it really depends. You could try and do endurance in either Plankerton, maybe even Canny if you want to. I did it in Twine, so most of the stuff is 130, but of course the highest level is 79 when you actually do this, because it reduces the trap level by a lot. You would want to start off with this pillar, or I mean this pyramid here, and just for lobbers and stuff like that, just in case they get through. But I also did put anti-air traps over here, all around the top. You're going to need a bunch of tire traps, just in case anything gets through, like smashers or whatever, and these traps here, floor freeze, as well as tar pits. I put wall darts here, and also spike traps, just in case. The first tunnel you're going to want to do is just this, start off with wall launchers, and have a bunch of broadsides as well. Most of this can be tar pits if you want, but I use floor spikes. I put a little pocket right here where it launches the enemies, the husks, into this little box, which has gas trap, broadside for extra damage, and wall dynamos, as well as a flame grill. This is the main part what you're going to want to do. It's about 2 up from the base floor. It's just a bunch of tire traps. You could do 3. I would recommend 3 if possible. But they're going to be coming through here, and they're going to be going through here, and going through here. So 3 different ways. You could block this off if you want to, but just for in case extra damage, you can have that open or closed. Depends on what you want to do. I put wall dynamos here, but you could also do wall darts. All this is going to be destroyed by the spawn points, so you're just going to have to leave it like this, a little bit uneven on the floor. Bunch of broadsides, tire traps. A lot of tire traps, you're going to need a lot of that, so when you do this run, you're going to have a lot of resources needed for it. Just prepare for that. I used metal, but you could use brick. Definitely don't use wood though. Do not use wood. So it's mainly going to be metal or brick. And you don't have to upgrade the top. I upgraded it just in case, but the anti-air trap should take out any lobber heads or any kind of flingers that might throw anything. Their range should be not far enough to hit there, but that's why I built the pyramid just in case. But for the most part, the levels of the Stonewood Endurance isn't that high, so you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. I also blocked this off. I didn't put this before, which was the stairs, because I didn't think they would get through, but the smashers do get through this, and they break through, so definitely have this right here. And I didn't know if they would also break through here, but I built this right here, these boxes, for the smashers, as well as this giant shield wall, ceiling wall, just in case. Just floor launchers, wall launchers, and just some tire traps just in case. Nothing has gotten through here on this side from what I've done, but it's just a precaution. Doesn't hurt to be safe, and I still have plenty of building limit, by the way, after doing everything here. So this is the first side you're going to be focusing on. Next we're going to be going to Amplifier A. So more tire traps, you're going to be using a lot of this stuff. You could use ceiling electric fields, but I would prefer tire traps. Tire traps are just ceiling drop traps are a lot easier because they slow down the enemies and just do extra damage compared to this. Don't use ceiling zappers, and if you want to use gas tunnels, I haven't used it myself, but I'm sure it works. So floor spikes, you're going to need a lot of tars here, and flip freeze. I don't really use much freeze, but you can still use it if you want to. Wall launchers here to knock back any enemies and smashers. Have these here, just in case any smashers try to break through. It prevents them from, I think, charging pretty far. I'm pretty sure that's why I did that. And wall darts. Here's one of the tunnels you're going to have to build. But broadsiders, wall darts here from when they're coming from this direction. And they're going to be spawning all around here and coming this direction. So I block this off here so they don't get up here and drop down easily. So they have to go the long way. Just put a staircase and then build a floor and then just cut it by 2 and then the pyramid right there. And that should block the AI. And then also build this just as a precaution. Just some tar pits, drop traps. And now for this side, I don't think I've had any go from here, but just in case I did build this, and also for that direction over there I built this here. Bunch of drop traps, and I block this off with the pyramid tactic. Same as that side over there, and also this, just the block square area, just in case, to block that side off. Now for down here, you're going to want to do the same thing, a bunch of ceiling drop traps. I built it 3 high, as you can see, and then just build it all around here because this is where they're going to be spawning. I think they also have a spawn point right here, or right here. So all of that's going to be taken care of that, and you shouldn't have to worry about it. I did have issues with lobbers on this amplifier, so be wary of that. That's why I put a bunch of anti-air traps around. But you should be okay with what you might build. So as a precautionary measure. So that's amplifier A. They won't be coming from this direction if you build C. And they won't be going from that direction. And of course they won't be coming from here because that's the main storm shield. So you just have to worry back this direction and this direction, east and south. Next is B. You don't need to build this. This is just for somebody who's a soldier trying to get high ground. Same design as the A. I usually build the same designs for all the amplifiers. Drop traps, some electric fields just scattered around, mainly tar pits on the floor, and these pyramids to block off smashers with wall launchers. So there's going to be only one direction that they come from, which is the west on this amplifier. And this is one that I have here. They usually don't make it this far besides just smashers, but I built this tunnel just in case. You're going to want to block this off over here because they can come from this direction. So, of course, a staircase, then the walls, and then the pyramid. Just do that on those 2 right there and those 2 right there, and nothing should come up from this direction. A smasher could break through this, maybe, but it's never happened to me if you use this tactic. I also have the broadsider, the wall darts, and of course the main thing, all of the ceiling drop traps that you're going to need. And then they should be coming up from here. Do not block this off. They're going to be going up this direction with all the broadsiders and ceiling drop traps, the wall launcher to launch them back, and the floor spikes to do extra damage. And they can go from this direction or from this direction if any make it this far, but since it's going to be about 2 hours long or so, most of this stuff is probably going to run out of uses and durability, or maybe just break over time. So they might end up making it this far, but you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. You can really do this endurance AFK, because it's just simple with all these traps here. I've never really had to shoot besides maybe some flingers and smashers, but that's about it. More broadsiders, tar pits, etc. Another staircase you don't really need unless you are a soldier or something, you need to get high ground. And that's about it. Of course, have your anti-air traps up top. You don't need to upgrade this really, they don't really get this far, but this is just in case. Over here you want to do this, the pyramid tactic, just build this right here, block him off from reaching up there. So there's only one tunnel they can come through right there. And then also, something that I realized after my first run, flingers can actually send troops, send enemies, zombies from this direction. So you're going to need to do this right here, which is tar pits, ceiling drop traps, wall darts, wall launchers, and broadsiders in case they make it this far. So just build this as a precautionary measure, because they could make it this far into right here, since their AI is a little smarter. So, also, I guess just block this off with another pyramid. But, that should be it for Amplifier B. Next, we're going to move on to C. This was early tunnel. This was when I didn't build C, so don't really worry about this. You could make it if you're watching this when you still need to do early amplifiers and stuff, but it's just a little simple tunnel for early game in Stonewood and stuff. Okay, so C is the same thing as the other amplifier designs, just I put floor spikes here, but you can do tars or freeze. And more drop traps. You could use electric fields like I said. You could also do wall dynamos here, because wall dynamos have a range where they can actually hit lower, one tile lower, so you could do that if you want to do extra damage, but you don't really need to, it's Stonewood. They won't be attacking from this direction or from this direction if you have that amplifier there, so you don't have to worry about it. Of course, the anti-air, you won't have to worry about this direction too, because that's already taken up, so it's literally just one direction they have to worry about. They don't really make it this far, but just in case, I did the broadsider stuff. Wall launcher is just a little box here for extra damage. And then more ceiling drop traps. I think this is... okay, well this is 2 high, and this one's 3 high. 2 high as in 2 tiles high, not 2 high, if you get confused. They'll be coming from all over here. I'll spawn right here and also spawn up there, which I later learned, as you can see. That I'll show in a bit, but you're going to need to have all these drop traps here and wall darts just for extra damage. This side over here I blocked off, but just in case some try to get through, I put some broadsiders and tar pits just as a precautionary measure. And if something makes it through, then I have this wall launcher in just this little area where it just does extra damage. And more drop traps. So up here, they do have a spawn point up here, which I didn't know about. I found out later. They spawn right here, so make sure you put traps right here like this, wall launchers, so they get knocked back and have extra damage done right here. Tar pit, more wall launchers to launch them off over there and confuse them. And basically just like stalling. That's all you really want to do, just stall the zombies from reaching the objective. And usually, I think defenses usually take about like, it depends, but usually it's like 2-3 minutes. The last few waves are like 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes or 4 minutes, so be prepared for that. Anti-air in case anything tries to get through. Flingers may be able to actually hit sometimes and get zombies all the way over here, and the anti-air can't reach it, but that's all I really have to worry about. Okay, so next is D. D, for me, usually has a tornado that breaks through all my traps. It might be different for you, but that's what happens to me. It spawns in around here, and it tears up my whole trap tunnel, so you might have to repair that. I'm not sure which wave it was, but it's sometime like maybe 15 waves around there. So be prepared for that, but you're going to need to upgrade everything in your Amplifier D just in case, because it's happened to me. I left everything unleveled, nothing upgraded on the brick, and it just tore through everything. So make sure that most of this stuff is maxed out with brick. And if you can't max it out, then just make sure you build as much as you can, just in case, or have extra resources to repair it right away. You're going to need to start off here with this trap tunnel here, which is just healing drop traps, tar pits. I did the little pyramid stair tactic here so they don't get up over here, and just in case they do, I did wall launchers, ceiling drop as well, just in case, but they usually make it just over here this way. And sometimes they get a little too far over here, but not very far because of all these traps, but later in the later waves they can. Wall launcher, broadsiders. I also have floor spikes, dynamos, and that little square thing that does extra damage for higher level enemies. I also had many bosses that spawned on this D amplifier, so be prepared for that. You're going to need to destroy the pods with your weapon or your pickaxe, whatever, and not let them spawn, but they're not too hard to kill if you know what you're doing. Broadsiders, of course, standard design. Over here they can go from this direction too. There's like 3 directions they can come from on this one. They spawn right here, and they can... I don't think they've ever broken through here, besides maybe a flinger, but just watch out for that. Also this side here, they can come up from that direction, so tar pits, ceiling drop, and broadsiders mainly. Wall launchers to launch them back if there's anything that's tanky. And wall darts, that's what you're mainly going to be using for all of these trap tunnels and stuff. I put some gas here just in case, for extra little damage. And they do, in fact, oh yeah, so one other thing, they can get from this direction, so put that pyramid tactic right there, right here. So this, they can spawn up here, I didn't know about this, so make sure you put traps right here, drop traps, and I guess, yeah, wall launchers and tar pits. They could break through that, so I put some wall launchers there and a wall launcher here just in case. But watch out for that, they can spawn up there as well. Okay, so for this side, you're going to need to be doing quite a bit for the east. It's a lot of tar pits, ceiling drop, broadsiders, wall launcher, dynamos, just those little boxes that you're going to need to do for extra damage. And this one's connected to A's amplifier, ceiling drop, so a bunch of ceiling drop right here because they come from both directions. And yeah, wall darts, broadsiders, wall launchers to launch them back, spikes, and ceiling drop, more broadsiders. They usually don't make it this far because they don't have a lot of health, but just in case. Down here, about the same thing. Same thing here, and that should be able to get you amplifier D done. So come from south, west, and east. We don't have to worry about the north. Now next is going to be... where's E? Wait, is that it? I thought there was an E. I guess I'm thinking of a different defense. So I guess that's it. Just the main storm shield and A, B, C, and D. So in total you have to do 5 different defenses then, and that should get you the endurance win that you are needing. A lot of resources are needed, so you're going to need to stack up on a lot. The main stuff, like I said, is just going to be the ceiling drop trap, anti-air, broadsiders. You can use electric field in place of drop trap if you don't have it very leveled. You can use gas traps too in certain places, but remember, you can't build the gas traps too high. It's only 1 tile, so it has to be very low to the ground. Same thing with the zappers. These are not very reliable unless you're just doing very small tunnels. I just did the big ceiling drop because that's the easiest. You could use flame grill if you want to, but it's not really necessary. Same with freeze. I prefer tar over freeze, honestly. Floor launchers if you want to launch the enemies back and just delay them. And tar pits is the main thing I use. You can use floor spikes if you want, if you don't have these wooden floor spikes at the ready. But I prefer these over the retractable because they take time to come back. Wall lights if you want to stun if you don't have this wall launcher ready, but I prefer the wall launcher mostly. And the wall darts, of course, because this is quite good. And the wall dynamos as well for extra damage. So this is all the stats I have for the traps if you want to copy them and use them. Pretty much the standard stuff. Mostly what I've gotten from other Save the World YouTubers over the years, and they have worked for me very well. I've mostly maxed this stuff out over all my time playing. Of course, I'm sure you won't have it if you're not in Twine or higher, so you won't have to worry about it being maxed out. As long as you have it pretty far leveled or decently leveled for where you are, then you should be okay. You can pause the video at any time to take screenshots or note this down. And that should be about it. Any weapon recommendations, I'd say maybe rocket launchers or something if you want to take out any husks or mini bosses that you might need. I mean, not husks, any smashers, and any tanky stuff, as well as flingers. But that should be about it, and that should get you the win. So, yeah. That's about it, and I hope you are successful. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And if you have any recommendations for me, or for anybody else doing this, please note it down in the comments. I will probably pin it. And yeah, that's about it. Good luck.